You feeling?
Hmm.
So how you feeling? Feel good?
Just want, I want to make sure I see everything. I'm like, can I see all my notes?
Okay.
That's really what I'm like. I want to make sure. And then you just let me know when I'm so excited. Can you pray?
Oh yeah, that's right. Our Lord Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We want to thank you, Lord, for blessing us with this opportunity to do this event together. Lord, let the event go well. Let people learn. Let people be willing to join us. And Lord, let us be not anxious, but Lord, just speak to us and let us be confident throughout this event. In Jesus Christ, in our prayer.
Amen.
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 No, it's not. All right. No, it's-
Hi, Princess. How are you?
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, hello.
So we're going to give it a couple more minutes just to see who else will be joining, and then we'll get started. Princess, how's your day going? How's your Sunday? Long time. I miss you.
It's going to thank you.
That's
And
good.
yourself.
I'm good.
Um,
I'm good, girl. I'm okay. Work's been very busy, so
of the season.
yeah, I'll call you. I'll
Okay.
catch I'll catch you up, girl. My life, I'll catch you up. All right, so we'll probably give it one more minute, and then we could go ahead and get started. And just hopefully, more people will be joining. So we're at the five. So, can you want to get started? I know we only have us
Mhm.
three. Or do you want to?
No, get started. We can wait until it's up to you. So, the goal is to record and use. So no
Mhm.
matter what,
Okay.
I'm gonna be able
All
to.
right.
So I'm okay.
Well, is that okay? get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, hi, Vanessa. Thank you for joining. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone to Money and Mindset. Believe in bigger, build a life you deserve. This is presented by Excel Therapy with Sakina and Women of Color and Crypto with me. I do want to thank everyone for joining. So, who are we at Women of Color in Crypto? So, the concept is to educate, empower, and elevate women of color in crypto and Web3. We're a dedicated platform empowering women of color to master crypto and Web3 through tailored, accessible education. The vision is that all women of color will be able to thrive as leaders and owners in the crypto and Web3 space. We want to make sure we provide knowledge, community, and opportunity for every single woman of color. We believe that equipping these tools will help build the confidence in their financial futures. What we offer here at Women of Color in Crypto is we empower our community through, as mentioned, education, access, and ownership. We want to create that safe space where women of color can learn, invest, and lead in the world of crypto and Web3. So be sure to join. All right. So as mentioned, these are just the three sectors that we have. Pillars. So we have community, education, and opportunity. I won't go through each one, but please, we do have events such as happy hours, focus groups, and live chats that creates that safe space for women. And we also have beginner-friendly crypto lessons and guides that will help you with your investing and developing a wallet. As well as opportunities, learn about job posting and grant opportunities, and become more knowledgeable in the crypto space. And as mentioned, we do cover crypto. We also talk about staying safe in the crypto space, developing your mindset, which we will be talking about today, building confidence in the crypto space, and then we also talk about Web3, decentralization, blockchain, and real-world use cases in the crypto world. So I'll go ahead and hand it over to Sakina Wilby, who is our psychotherapist for today, who will be talking about joining me with this seminar.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Tosin. I tell you a little bit more about what Excel therapy is. I help individuals create a life that they don't need an escape from. Really, what that means is figuring out what your vision is and helping you to get closer to that. The goal is to help you feel empowered and resilient and balanced and clear through our work together so that we're able to navigate spaces and shift our mindset like what we're going to be talking about today when it comes to investing. My mission is to really support individuals through compassionate, evidence-based therapy that helps them to understand patterns, manage stress, and really build healthier relationships with themselves and with others. So through these practical tools, we really do create some real change in your everyday life. And in terms of what we offer, so I do individual sessions providing therapy, but I also provide coaching, which is more focused to specific issues that someone might be coming in with. So whether that's burnout, anxiety, imposter syndrome, relationship challenges, or even feeling just the normal life overwhelm of emotions through our conversations and structured tools, I really help clients break these unhealthy patterns. And I'm really excited because I love mental health. I think it is so incredibly important on the way that we manage stress, the way that we make decisions. And often when it's neglected, it can really affect huge areas of our life, including work and personal. And so I try to prioritize that and create a space where we can do that and build some stronger relationships and live a balanced life.
Thank you, Sakina.
For
So
sure.
we're going to go ahead and do an icebreaker. So for one, I'll have everyone introduce themselves. Where are you based? And then we have two questions. So the first one would be, if money or crypto were someone you were dating, how would you describe your relationship status? And
Mm.
then drop an emoji that best describes your financial situation in the chat. So I will call on Lala first.
Okay. My name is Fulola. Sorry, I'm shy. Okay. I'm Fulola, and a social media manager, and I'm based in Nigeria. If money or crypto were someone you were dating, oh boy. Well, uh, uh, I feel like uh, I don't know if we're in talking stage yet, but I think we're around that area. So yeah, then drop an emoji that best describes your financial situation. Okay, doing that right now.
Okay, let's see it.
Mhm.
I love that
So
you said
many.
talking stage. Yeah.
I think I said this because I like money, and this emoji looks like money everywhere. Everywhere I go, I see money. So yes, in every opportunity, that's what I want to see. Money.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
All right.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name's
Sure.
Vanessa. I'm based in New Jersey. And if we were dating, I don't even think it would count as dating. It'd be like the shy girl high phase. Like I'm still trying to figure out crypto and see how I can transition from like the traditional spaces that I have my investments in into just like diversify more into crypto. So kind of like a high shy kind of situation, trying to walk up to somebody at the bar.
Okay.
Mm.
That's a good one. So drop an emoji that best describes your financial situation.
Going to this one. The oh my gosh, what's happening?
That's a good one. All right, Princess, I'll have you go.
Hi, I'm Princess. I'm in Houston, Texas. If money or crypto were someone you were dating, my status would be probably a situationship,
Mhm.
because I have a little bit of crypto in different places, but I really don't know what's going on. So I'll think that was it. It's not allowing me to drop an emoji, but
Okay.
it'll probably be like a confused face.
Okay.
Mm.
Good one. Sakina, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. So I am Sakina Wilby. I am based in a little outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And I would say that me and money and crypto are in an open relationship right now. We haven't really fully committed to each other. And the stress that comes along with not fully committing to each other is present. And I'm going to drop an emoji. It's the thinking face because I'd be slightly confused as to where you are, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay. All right. And I'll go last. So I am Olutosin Teniola. I am based in Florida. So if money or crypto were someone I was dating, how would I describe my relationship status? I would say a healthy relationship, but it has its ups and downs, right? You have your little fights here and there, but it's pretty healthy, right? I think pretty normal and growing. I think that's something we're learning from each other every single day. If I was to drop an emoji, I would put a fist pump, right?
Mm,
Because I think Krista and I we go together real bad. But sometimes, when even though you were ride or dies, we're still having issues here and there when learning and the changes that happen, such as regulations and things of that sort. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started with the program. So
mm.
mindset on money, opening story.
Yeah,
Putting in tech background.
I would love to kind of jump into how I got introduced to the difference of and being able to be aware of mindset on money. So before I became a therapist, I spent about 10 years working in corporate recruiting in the tech space. And so I was working at companies like Siemens, and right before deciding to move full time, I was working at Google. And so I was really hiring people to be in roles and was associated with other people who are making six figures easily and above. And I noticed something pretty interesting in these spaces. Many of the people who were stepping into these roles really already understood the value of investing. They were asking these questions just at the beginning parts of the recruitment process. They were talking within around me, they were talking with their other colleagues about stocks and crypto and angel investing and words that I wasn't familiar with, but it was just normal conversation for them. And when I would talk to my friends about these topics, especially Black women who were also very successful and accomplished and very responsible, the conversation sounded a bit different. We were really talking about concepts like working harder or saving more or paying off debt or helping family. Literally most of our conversations were really in risk management and how to make sure that we were doing everything right. But very few of us were talking about like how to scale wealth in a way that would really provide and also or maybe a little bit more risky. And I realized in that moment, many of us were raised kind of with a mindset to survive financially instead of to really build power with money. And that's when I became really interested in all of this topic. And so it's a really important mindset shift. And that's really what I want to talk to you today about is how to make that mindset set shift happen. So I want to jump into a quick activity, and we're going to use a chat for this. Princess, let me know if you have access to type into the chat, because I want to know, growing up, what did you hear or the women in your life teach you about money? It doesn't have to be just women, but what did you hear about money growing up? Can you either type it into the chat? Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to share. I'll kick it off and then read some of the messages or open the floor. But I heard, don't keep up with the Joneses. Make sure that you're not trying to be out here spending money to keep up with a lifestyle that you can't afford. It was really about like security. And yeah, that's the main pieces. Let me see. Oh, I got it something. Okay. Vanessa said save, save, save. Correct. Yeah. Anything else? Any other thoughts?
Work
Hmm.
hard, play harder. Sorry, I'm gonna drop soon and come back in just to see if the chat is working. But that's one of the few things you need to work hard to have the money, spend it. Recently now, because of life, my parents are saying you need to save, but that wasn't the same
Mm,
tune they were back in the day.
Okay. Um, and save and buy property. Okay, so we were thinking about being more structured in how we were spending our money. Tosin, I see, buying property was pretty big in there as well too.
Mhm.
Okay. So it sounds like a lot of the principles that we were getting and a lot of messages were very practical and also sounds like it was for protection. Save, save, save. Make sure that have the security of money. Buying property, that's like a long-term investment that was protection. And so the theme here that I'm trying to showcase is that we were taught to earn and save, but not necessarily how to grow money. These weren't full conversations that we were having about that. And so I can imagine when we start to think about crypto and the idea of it, sometimes crypto can feel like very scary. And so why does investing feel scary? Let's go to the next slide to think a little bit more about why that is. So imagine if we were constantly taught all of these concepts, saving, make sure that you're protected in your spaces, that the idea of spending, the idea of putting something into this big bucket that I have no idea what's going to happen to our brain interprets it as danger, right? I don't know where these funds are going. The idea of risk that's associated with it feels more overwhelming. And maybe also we weren't having a lot of conversations around what was actually happening with our money. And that pressure that tends to come with it usually leads to us feeling really emotionally dysregulated when we start thinking about investing. And it's really hard to be able to stay in the mindset, okay, this is a long-term strategy, instead of thinking of, okay, what's the gratification for right now? How do I manage this risk? And so if that continues, if you're raised to continue to think about this scarcity, then it's hard to move or be comfortable tolerating short-term discomfort for long-term wealth. And that's really what we're trying to do here, is build long-term wealth. So I want to kind of encourage us into a different mind frame. So I want to talk through the permission of being able to pursue wealth. If you swing on over, Tosin, to the next slide, I want to talk about how we've kind of have these two different mindsets that we're usually in. Survival mindset, which is protecting what you have, avoiding mistakes, playing it safe, doing the practical thing, and how that is really in conflict with a wealth mindset, which is all about expansion. It's all about, yes, there's uncertainty, but if you play the game right, it'll work out for us eventually. Like, you have to take these calculated risks. They feel sometimes at odds with each other. So how do we kind of grow the gap between the two? And that is really being able to manage ourselves and think through these big ideas that we have and figure out how we can actually pursue them. So the permission to pursue, which is our the next topic, is really just getting you in the mindset of being able to think bigger about your money. So there's a quote by Oprah Winfrey, and it says, create the highest, grandest version possible for your life, because you become what you believe. And if we have these big, audacious goals for how we see money, then we kind of have to be able to start to tolerate the strategies in order for us to get there. So I want to take a moment for us to create a big, audacious money goal. I want us to really think through the idea of what money can really do for us, past what maybe our family and what we kind of learned growing up, which was more so in the space of protection. And I want us to think through a place of expansion. What is a money goal that you potentially have that gets you excited, that feels a little nerve wracking because you're like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get here. And it feels like it would genuinely expand my life. I will jump into mine, and then if we're comfortable with sharing some of your money goals, I would love to own a home that is large enough for my child to have a wedding in the backyard. I don't know where this idea has come from, but it has like always been on my heart to be sitting on a few acres of land. So should they were like, all right, they're 30 and they're like getting ready to host a wedding, the place can accommodate 100 plus people with valet, with all of these. Like, I see this estate. Now that's going to require some funds in order for us to get there. And so if my dream is that big, then the way that I have to move in that way also has to be pretty big, right? Anyone comfortable with sharing what some of their big audacious money goals might be?
That's a good one, Sakina. Anybody would like to share?
I think mine is right now, my focus is paying off my car. Just because I've had it for a bit, and it seems like debt has turned into like a normal thing. But I remember my parents always telling me growing up, like, it's a good feeling to not owe anybody anything.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's mine for now.
Okay. Good one.
I'll
Mm.
piggyback off of this and say, just to
Ooh,
kind of be
Princess,
debt-free.
you're kind of going out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I said I will bank off of Sakina, and I'll say just to be debt-free.
Mm.
It's something currently right now that I feel like I'm not, and I don't think I would be, and especially with like some of the other goals I have. But just like she said, like not owing anybody, and that's including like business loans or everything and everything.
Love it. Mhm.
Love it. Okay.
I like how they all get us out of the space of feeling nervous around money. You said
Mhm.
being debt free, not owing anyone, having this freedom that comes along with it.
Mhm.
So, a question, and this is, I'd like us to hold on to this question throughout the rest of the presentation. But let's just say all debt was covered, right? The car's paid off, the debt is cleared. If money felt safe, what could money do for you? I'm going to hold us there. That's the next part of the activity, and then we'll circle back after the rest of the presentation. My goal here is to be able to talk through the psychology of wealth, right? And the strategy of that really only works when your mindset can hold it. and we can hold it when stuff starts to feel safe. And I want to shift us to the practical side of how crypto works in order for us to get a bit of an understanding and for it to start to feel safer for us to have these big picture dreams. So tossing it back over to you, Tessa.
Okay. All right. So understanding crypto as an asset class. So first off, I want to thank Sakina for her activities. Very knowledgeable and definitely have me thinking as well. So in this section, we'll cover what blockchain technology is and why it matters, the difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. We're also looking at how crypto differs from traditional investing and understanding bull markets, bear markets, and volatility, and how to evaluate crypto projects before investing. Knowledge also means understanding how digital assets fit under broader investment landscape. That's very important to be very knowledgeable in this space. So what exactly is blockchain? So let's look at the makeup edition of it. You know, we're all ladies here. So think of blockchain like a shared makeup routine journal. So imagine a group of friends who all write down every makeup product using a routine. You have your foundation, your concealer, your blush, your lipstick, eyeliner, whatever you want to use, right? But instead of one person keeping the list, everyone has the same copy of the makeup routine. So when a new product is added, so say I want to now get, I don't know, Danessa Myricks, the foundation. Now, if when a new product is added, everyone's list is updated. So once a product is written down, no one can secretly remove it. Everyone has this under a blockchain. So what is a blockchain? So if this shared record is the blockchain, right? So it's a digital systems where thousands of computers keep the same records of transactions. So it keeps everything transparent and secure. So you see what people are purchasing, you see what people are selling, everything. So if I'm getting a new lipstick and I'm like, ooh, I'm trying to hide it from Sakina, no, Sakina's gonna see it on the blockchain. So when looking at traditional investing versus crypto, investing. So you want to think of traditional banking like a makeup store that's keeping your beauty purchase history. So it's your personal purchase history. It records what you buy, it controls the system and can change and remove the records, right? So they have complete control over that when it comes to investing. So looking at different companies, whenever someone buys something, they know it, they could fluctuate it. But versus blockchain is different is instead of one store keeping the record, everyone sees the transaction. The network confirms it all together. And then this record can't be altered or erased. So it's a shared beauty ledger. Just think of it like everything is together, as I mentioned. And this is what powers Bitcoin, Ethereum, and digital assets like altcoins. So before I move further, are there any questions on this piece? Okay. So what blockchain technology is? So think of blockchain like the trusted makeup record for each beauty purchase in a group. So with each purchase that is done, we know who bought it, when it was purchased, and when it's real and when it's fake. Because everyone has the same record, as mentioned before, we know what's happening. I mean, this is very important, especially when looking at security purposes in the crypto space. So it matters because trust without a bank. So the network verifies transactions instead of the financial institution. So you're always hearing some type of, I don't want to call out any specific bank, like, oh, okay, they did some type of fraud to these certain accounts. They were able to open up credit card lines, whatever the case is. This can't happen in blockchain if you do it correctly. Of course, in the crypto space, there is the stereotype that there are scams, but usually scams are literally people who are frauding like anything else, right? So they're getting a hold of your account, they're taking over your account, and they're able to pull out money from your account. So that's why it's very important in this space to have top-notch security and proceed with caution. Also, you have transparency. So everyone can see the record of the transaction. And like I mentioned, security. So transaction cannot be secretly changed or erased. And then you also have ownership. Nobody controls your assets. With banks, right, even looking at high yield savings accounts or anything like that, they still have control. So if it's 7% that they knock on, which is pretty high, at your high yield saving account, that means you're locked at that price. But say if Bitcoin, I decided I wanted to buy one Bitcoin at $54,000 and it went up to $125,000, that's almost a whole 2x. So in that case, I get to keep all my money for myself. No one's taking any fees. No one's saying, oh, I have to pay this tax or nothing. It's all mine. And I have complete control over this transaction. So blockchain is what leads this technology to be possible in the crypto space. So let's talk about the differences between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. So Bitcoin is known as the digital gold. It's the first cryptocurrency that has occurred, and it's primarily seen as the store of all value. So pretty much when Bitcoin goes up, usually the rest of the market follows, and if Bitcoin goes down, usually the rest of the market goes down in the crypto space. It allows people to send and store money digitally without relying on banks and government. When looking at Ethereum, so Ethereum is the tech, I say is the tech bro of the crypto space because it goes beyond the digital money. So Bitcoin is strictly just money, it's like a dollar, right? But Ethereum is actually used to develop apps, NFTs, which is artwork, music videos, anything. And creatives use NFTs a lot, and they usually sell NFTs, and they have complete control of their artwork without having to go through a middleman for someone to purchase. And then it's also in the Web3 space as well, especially in AI right now. You know, a lot of times when looking at transactions, we're looking at like a lot of companies do not want to have a middleman to take their payment. So crypto allows you to send the money directly into their wallet so they don't have to take any transaction fees or anything like that. And then we have altcoins. So that's your alternative cryptocurrencies, such as Solana, Zcash, which is in the privacy space, Ripple. So these are the other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin. And I will put Ethereum under that belt as well. So these are usually aimed to solve specific problems, introduce new technologies, especially AI. Privacy is big right now, especially with AI developing, and also improve speed, security, and scalability within the blockchain ecosystem. Before I go any further, are there any questions? Okay. So why the difference?
Is there like a max? Oh, sorry,
What?
I was gonna ask, is there like a max to these altcoins? Or like, is there ever like, oh, there's too many now, so it's just gonna stop?
No. Altcoins are made every single day. So I think of altcoins like businesses, right? So everyone's trying to solve an issue, or they may be solving the same exact issue, but whoever is able to develop the best type of platform that is user friendly, most of the time, that's what's usually adopted. So for instance, we'll use trading, like crypto trading, right? So there is something called Base. There's something called, so we have Solana, we have Base. So these are different coins that I'm mentioning. And there was also Ethereum. Ethereum was used in crypto trading, very, very small scale. But with these three, like a lot of people, a lot of the owners were competing on, okay, who could do trading the fastest, who's going to have the lowest fees. And Solana ended up beating everyone. So it's more so like, okay, how are we able to scale up and beat everyone else? A lot of times, sadly, I would say projects, especially altcoins, do die quickly if they don't have a good backing or a good team. You want to have a strong team. So that's why it's very important to not just like, yes, it's like a startup, right? So some startups do really, really well, but a lot of startups don't, right? So you really want to pay attention to what moves they're making and also how they're scaling up, and are they really going along their white paper or pretty much their charts that they should be following. Or checklist is a better way of saying it. Any other questions? Okay, so why the difference matters for investors. So understanding these categories help investors recognize that not all crypto serves the same purpose. So some are used to store value, while others are designed to power technology and digital ecosystems. Right now, like I said, the big talk is privacy. With AI, obviously you have privacy, and privacy is needed because of the whole, with AI, it's computers, right? And anyone can hack into anything. So that's something I've been looking into as well. Um, so in addition, so how does crypto differ from traditional investments? So you have markets which are 24/7. So usually for stocks, I think it's 8 to 5, right? For trading. So after hours, you cannot trade, but you could put in a trade, but it won't process till the next day. And it usually is closed on the weekends, right? But for crypto, it's 24/7. Yes, you have your slow times, but for the most part, everyone, it's globally, so it's not limited to a certain time zone. It is more volatile. So one thing to note that you could have, for instance, like Bitcoin has dropped about 40% from the highest, its highest high. So it is important to just watch, make sure that you're scaling correctly, dollar cost averaging correctly, and things of that sort. It is a decentralized system, meaning that you own your assets, right? So there's no set owner, just like banks. Like if a bank is different, there is spaces in crypto where you could loan money, but usually it's you. You're not having to go through a middleman to get this money. And then, like I mentioned before, it's global accessibility. This is a worldwide thing. There's no set time zone. There's no set owner. Anybody could invest in crypto. So why this matters? So I mentioned that you have bull markets, bear markets, and volatility. So bull markets is when the prices are rising. So right now, we're not in a bull market, from being honest. We were in a bull market last year where everything was going up. I think Bitcoin went up about 60% from about 40,000, so went up to about 60%. And that's great, right? So we want to, bull markets are good, but the thing is, it's very important in bull markets that you do have a strategy. So is it where, okay, once it hits, you made 30%, you're going to go ahead and take your money out? Or are you just going to let it sit? And maybe, I know I have a strategy where I have this mindset where, okay, whatever goes up comes down. So I am looking long term. So I'm not looking to take my money out. Or if I do take money out, it's only at I only take a small portion of it because I know eventually it's going to go higher. And then I just try to dollar cost average, meaning like I buy a little bit at a day at a time. So my average gets lower and lower once the market is falling, which leads to a bear market, which we're at right now. The market's fluctuating. It went up to about 73,000 yesterday, Bitcoin. But right now, because of the regulations that are in place and because of what's happening around the world when it comes to the war and things of that sort, usually people want to hold on to their capital and they're kind of nervous to invest. So we're looking at that, when looking at a bear market, usually the prices decline. But as I mentioned, what usually what usually goes down comes up, and vice versa. And especially when you have your stable coin, so like I mentioned, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Solana, you're not going to see, like, though you may see fluctuation, you're going to see it go back up. That's my strategy. Other coins, I can't promise as much, but at least the top three for sure. And then you have volatility. So you have rapid price movement. As mentioned, 3 months ago, Bitcoin was at its top, right? And we want to make sure that we are having the best strategy. I know for me, I'm like, okay, I need to pay. If maybe I have to pay something off, I may take a little portion, pay it off, but I'm still going to make sure I buy some more when it goes back lower. Are there any questions? All right. So when looking at evaluating crypto projects before investing, so you want to ask the number one question: what is the problem this coin is solving? You don't want to just put your money anywhere, right? You want to make sure you do the actual research before investing into anything. You want to understand why it exists. Like I said, you wouldn't want to just buy a designer piece not knowing what the brand's value is. And it's the same thing with crypto, right? Like, yeah, you could buy a Chanel or you could buy a Birkin, but okay, let's make sure the resale value is actually worth something. Also, you want to look at who created it. I know I mentioned earlier, like you want to look at the founders, the developer, and the advisors. A lot of people are making something, right? But you want to make sure that they have a strong team behind them, because usually strong teams build stronger projects in this space. You also want to look at, does the vision make sense? So every serious crypto project should have a roadmap or a plan for the future. So what we call the white paper. If they're not following their roadmap or checklist, I would scratch it, right? I would pull my money out. You don't want to, like, similar to how, you invest in like fashion houses, like they have certain seasons. You want to make sure that these things, the teams have plans to grow, evolve, and deliver on their promises. And then, as mentioned, is there a strong community behind it? In the crypto space, community is important. You want to make sure that other people are adopting what these teams are promoting. You want to make sure they're engaged, and you want to make sure that they have a lot of support. Usually, you'll see a support from big companies, your Amazons, your JP Morgan. So you know that, okay, they're the real deal. So beginner-friendly steps to starting your crypto journey. So before I get into this, are there any questions or any feedback that anyone would like to offer? Okay, so before start, beginner-friendly steps, you want to learn the basics. Knowledge is key in this space. You want to understand the key concept like blockchain, wallets, exchanges, and understand the difference between major cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. This leads you to avoid beginner mistakes. I say this because I got in simple terms because I did not know what I was doing in the beginning. You also want to choose a beginner-friendly crypto platform. So some people like Coinbase, some people like Kraken. I use Coinbase, I use Kraken, and I use Robinhood. I know Robinhood, a lot of people have, there's a blend of both stocks and crypto. You're able to just link your credit card or debit card and your bank account, and you're able to just purchase cryptocurrency. You're able to also do like recurrent purchases as well, which is very easy. So once you buy your first asset, I always say you could invest with as little as $5. Says 10 here, but you can understand how the process works. Don't go too much so soon, right? So maybe starting with $10, see how you scale up, see if it's working for you, see how your emotions are, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Are you feeling down if you lose $1, or are you feeling optimistic? Like, okay, because I believe in this project, I know it's going to go up. And then you can also move your crypto into a secure wallet. So that's your MetaMask, Trust Wallet. So usually that is more advanced, and that's something that One of Color Crypto we offer, teaching the steps on transferring your funds into secure wallets as well. And then you want to make sure to continue learning and tracking the market. You want to make sure to follow crypto news, for market trends, and join Women of Color in Crypto because we offer community support for one, and we also offer knowledge through guides, through forums like these, just to make sure that you understand how to diversify your portfolio, how to purchase crypto, and develop your own investment strategy. Are there any questions? All right. So I will hand it over to Sakina. Thank you all.
So imagine having to do all of what Tosin just said on your own, of finding the information, navigating it, navigating your mindset on, okay, what does all of this mean? I'm nervous to make a mistake. I am I'm big on community, and not just for the power of it, but because wealth grows faster in communities. I think of the proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And in this space, what we're trying to do is, so many women are trying to figure out money alone. But what happens is wealthy people talk about money. They share these opportunities. They invest together. They learn together. Um, here Toast is able to explain to us, okay, hey, we're in this type of a market. Money's down this much. She was saying numbers I didn't even know. I had no awareness of it. But what's lovely is she has someone who's incredibly passionate about it, and she's open to sharing it. And so when I go in to navigate these concepts and figure out where to put my money and what to purchase, it doesn't feel as daunting or as scary. And so that is why this community exists, right? And it also helps. The next slide is, it helps to when people invest together, it helps to spread information faster. Imagine we did a quick happy hour on a Thursday where we talked about, okay, what's going on, what's the happenings, what's looking promising, what's the white pages of this one looks like, and we have the ability to share that information in one space. What happens is, even if we do make a mistake, they're normalized, because not like it was just one person who's making that assumption. We all talk through it together. And once that also happens, some of that confidence grows, being able to navigate something and jump into it. We feel a little bit more excited and feel more empowered to make that happen. And so that's really why you see so many communities exist around stocks or real estate. And it now popping up and happening around crypto is so important. Now, I want to make a note and be sure to end on this. So in closing, building wealth isn't just about learning these new strategies. It also requires you to become a version of yourself who believes you deserve to hold it. Remember that money story that we started with? What would you do if money felt safe? If we were able to let go of any of the dysfunctional or problematic ways we might have originally thought about money. And that kind of mindset shift rarely happens alone. It happens in rooms like this where we're able to talk through it. And it also happens through constant practice, right? So much of the work that I do is being able to see so many people come in, we process through and practice new ways of thinking, new ways of processing things, and new ways of strategy. And what's lovely about what Tosin's creating too is she's helping us also practice the shift that comes with that too. I love that. And so we are really here to help you navigate either of these kind of buckets, mindset shift and also the knowledge that comes along with crypto. And so I'm gonna toss it back to Tosin, and she's gonna tell you a little bit more about how to get involved in us.
Yeah, so before we even wrap up, I think we should maybe even share what you mentioned, Sakina, about okay, if we didn't have to worry about that, if we didn't have to worry about certain things, certain money, what would be what would be what would we want, right? So maybe I could share, or if you don't mind
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah. I can jump right in. I think my money story, if money felt completely safe to me, I would actually share it more. I'd love to be able to give to any spaces. Like I think of just recently someone was doing a fundraiser and they didn't need much, like the little kids in the neighborhood were doing a fundraiser and they needed to get somewhere and it was $2,500 and they're going around neighborhood to neighborhood, and in my mind I was like, dude, I can't wait until I could just write the check for them and be able to do that. And so my goal would be if everything felt safe and I had an abundance of it, I would be able to share more.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to share?
I'll share. I think mine is very similar, which, and maybe it just might be like as women, it's kind of almost like a default to want to just give and share and support. So mine would definitely be if money felt safe, and it was in abundance, it would be giving back. So whether it's my parents or like taking care of their mortgage, or I always like envision taking my parents on a trip and them not having to worry about paying for anything. So it turns into, if money was safe and in abundance, just enjoying it with the people that I care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
That's super fair.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Okay, if
I want to
not,
hear
I could.
yours, Tosin. Hmm.
If money was in abundance and I felt safe, I think very similar to what you both said, I would say I would create opportunities for people, right? So giving back, but also creating opportunities. I think the mind is such a powerful tool. And a lot of people, because they're so focused on money, right, they remain either stagnant or they remain in survival mode, right? So creating opportunities where they don't have to be in survival mode. So creating jobs for them, whether it's like simplest things, right? Having them use their minds each and every day to create that mindset where it's like, okay, I could get anything. And also give, I would say same thing. I would love to be like, hey ladies, the PJ's outside. Let's go to Paris. Let's go to Paris. you know,
I love that.
and I think really outside of that, truly give to people who do not have. I
Hmm.
think especially being here, yes, you see poverty, but like in other countries, you truly have proper poverty, and a lot of people are just looking for opportunity, right? And honestly, even basic needs. So providing those basic needs for people on a daily basis and helping them sharpen their minds every day. I think that's something that is super rich and wealthy in its own way. So,
Imagine if we all became millionaires, the way that the world would be different.
right,
If everyone's ready to be givers. I love this for
right,
us.
right. All right, so thank you for sharing. So want to join us. So if interested in joining Women of Color in Crypto or Excel, or would like to receive services from Excel Therapy, please feel free to drop in the chat and we will DM you the link, whether you could book a meeting with me where we could talk through your portfolio. I could talk through any of the questions you have, anything. We could just really, or if you just need to just just have a conversation, right, about this space. Feel free to just schedule a meeting with me. I'm very flexible and I'm very transparent about my journey as well as also what I'm able to provide as well. And then with Excel therapy, as Sakina, this is Sakina's link as well. We'll provide this link for you as well. And Sakina, I don't know if you want to go further
Yeah.
into
If
what you
you're
offer.
interested in navigating any of these topics that we've talked about a little bit more in depth, if it feels harder to navigate where maybe we have some nerves around investing, or we want to change our mindset around money, we've never even thought as big as our big audacious goals. We weren't even able to think of these big goals, and we want to be able to kind of expand our mindset. I would love to work alongside you and do that and navigate those spaces as well. So that's a direct booking link. You can find on my services, whether it's individual therapy or we work on a very specific goal through coaching. Both options are available through that link.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any questions before? All right, so this is our contact us. This is our social media, as well as my website, as well as Women of Color and Crypto email. So feel free to contact me there and follow us as well. And then this is for Excel therapy as well. This is our social media as well as email and website. Before we close, I would like to hear any feedback or if there's any questions. I do want to thank everyone for their time. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Putting this together and just sharing all this information with us is super helpful and super valuable.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I was going to say the same. And for like the one-on-one with you, Tosin, is that like if we don't have a portfolio, if we're literally just starting from scratch, do you do like this is what you should build, this is what you should choose? Like, what does that one-on-one look like with you?
No, absolutely. You could come with any question related to crypto. I will answer any question. I will provide advice as well. One thing I do say is like I don't provide direct financial advice, but I do give you just guides and what I would do, right? But I also want you to also do your own research to make sure that you feel comfortable while investing as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Alrighty, everyone. I do want to thank everyone once again for their time. I truly enjoyed this session. I hope you all did too. And I hope everyone have a great rest of their day. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye now.
Bye.